Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, the new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night. All sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
On first down, Wentz. And a completion to Wilson. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Quickly now a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, King. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Demario Davis there on the stop. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Fletcher Cox is a first-round pick who has fulfilled his promise. One of the best defensive linemen in the NFL.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. King. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Still going, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start on the ground with Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Check.
2nd and 6. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I can't believe they let you play.
Back to throw. King. And that's Elliott. Complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here we go. Waiting. 55 to Mike. You.
Wentz now to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Running on first down, Eckler. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There to Jeffrey, and he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 28. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Here we go.
On play action, Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Eckler. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That second down play nets a -4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wentz to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Touchdown, Eagles. The kicker on for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 39 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Wentz now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
They'll run here with Eckler. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Alshon Jeffrey, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 42 yards, and the Eagles have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 2nd and 13.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Come to my work.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10, right at the 40. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Boy, stays up. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Badgley hit from 59 in his rookie season. This one not quite as long, but he shows off that big leg by hitting another from distance. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I know you ain't got it.
Now King on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Here's Eckler, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. On third down, here's Eckler. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, with a conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a third down. Back to throw. King. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short. brought down at the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. Now the second-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And things didn't go so well, as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Derek Carr with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5, and he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. King. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down now. It's Elliott, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He may try and run for this. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a gain.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. On the ground, it's Eckler. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. He was a third-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the third. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Draw play, it's Eckler. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now on 4th down, Doug Peterson turns it over to the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't going nowhere.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go. Check 52's the money. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Here we go. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Check 43.
Back to throw. King. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Looking to throw. King. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Martin, the return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now Wentz. Ertz has it left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Wentz able to find Shaheen here. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the 1st down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Now a play fake. Wentz. Catch is made by Escobar right side. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 29-yard line. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Wentz now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Eckler. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Draw play, Elliott. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll go option on second down, right side. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Cowboys on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is third down and 12. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. That'll be good for 6, but now it's fourth down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Chris Jones on the stop.
Let's go, D. Check.
It's Eckler again, and he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a 69-yard punt. 69 yards. Wow. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. They go to Elliott again. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 6 there on the first down play. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
King to throw on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
36 yards on the punt with no return. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well,
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Play action. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, his 2nd sack of the night. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw is King. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now it's Martin. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega right side. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. Going on the ground with Eckler. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Now, I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So now the Cowboys down by 2 touchdowns. And time, a huge factor. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. King now, throwing on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw. King. That is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's fourth. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Looking to throw. King. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Fletcher Cox. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Eagles, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.